When you first open up your own private server, you're not going to have quite the same screen as this unless you're running a dev environment. Anyways, though, you're going to probably want to know how to force maps specifically if you're trying to test things or look at things on specific maps. Probably going to want to know how to just use basic sandbox tools in general. Well, as long as the round has not started yet, you can change to whatever map you want by using the force map command. You press tilde to open this, and it'll autofill. Then you could just use your arrow keys and scroll through whatever map you want. So let's say I just want to see core station. We could do force map core. You can press tab to autofill it, and then it will force the game to start with core. If a round has already started and you can't force the map, you can use the go lobby command. This will send you back to the lobby so you can then force the map. If you don't want to wait the whole time, you could do start round. You can decide to ready up or not. It doesn't really matter if you're just trying to do basic sandboxing. So we'll do start round. It will instantly kill the countdown timer and start the round.
Welcome to the station, crew. Enjoy your stay.
You can then observe, and you'll be asked if you want to player observe or admin observe. The only difference is that if you click admin observe, you'll have debug tools. If you click player observe, you'll see just what a normal ghost sees. Admin observe will basically just admin you on your own server to spectate with. You will always be admin, but it lets you see things like, if I right click this door, I can see the debug menu, the admin menu, and whatnot. So it's really useful for mobs and stuff. Say like you want to heal McGriff or you're testing on a dummy, you can just right click, hover over debug and rejuvenate. That cures everything, removes everything out of their system. Even if they have a million points of damage, it'll cure it. F5 is the entity spawn panel. You can spawn in anything. If you're trying to spawn in test dummies, they're called Urist. It shows all the different species. F6 lets you see tiles and you can replace it any type of floor tile you want with it. And F7 is an admin menu. I'm on a dev environment, but here, say if I wanted to go find the cargo shuttle, I could just go here. You right click any grid that you want and click follow. It'll take you to whatever grid you clicked on. If you want to go back to the station, you do so. And F8 is decal placer. This lets you place decals. Now, if you want to add game rules and stuff, it's really simple. You do tilde, add game rule, tab, and then this will show every single game rule in the game. So if you want to test nuke ops, you just type in nuke ops and press enter. It will lag a little bit because it's trying to load another map. Then it'll even open up ghost roles of the nuclear basic nuke team, which is a commander, agent, and normal operative. You can click follow and it'll take you right to them. You can take them over if you want to just mess around as a nuke, see what you can make as a chemist, whatever the case may be. If you ever want to go back to the station, you can always just use the ghost warp. You can always then go to the F7 menu and follow the station, whatever you want. Another really useful command is you can always right-click any container of liquids, whether it be a fire extinguisher, beaker, you name it. Hover over debug and then edit solutions. Here you can add any solution you want in the game. So say I want 100 units of water. You type in water, enter the quantity amount, and then press add. And now we have 100 units of water in a beaker. So this is also good for testing explosives, reagent bombs, you name it. Say you ever make a giant hole in the station or you accidentally place a space tile and you want to fix it. You can hover over objects and press P and this will auto place it. You can control click to make a line or a big grid like so and fix it up. And then in your command console, you can do fix grid Atmos and just press tab and then tab again for the station you're on. And that will reset the grid Atmos to the default Atmos settings, just in case you accidentally do any major spacing. So yes, one more reminder, hover over any entity and press P, and this lets you copy and paste it. Very, very helpful for speed building. Now, another thing that is a really common problem, say you want to do some basic mapping to map, you just do type in mapping, then this is whatever map ID. So for example, since this is the first map I loaded today, we're on map 2, so that means core station is on map 2. So if I wanted to do some mapping, I could do mapping 100, and it will teleport me to an empty instance, and now I'm on map 100. So if I place down just some tiles, and then make a big square or something, say I want to save this. You don't want to do save map unless you're actually having a full-fledged map. I prefer and do save grid. I'm not a mapper. I've never actually PR'd any maps, but this is how I reload my own maps. I'm pretty sure this is the correct way of doing this. You do save grid instead. So you do save grid and you can press F3 to open this menu. The grid here is 38822, and then you press space and you can save it as whatever you want. I'll just name it, just do testing.yml and just click save. So now if I want to load this, I just go to mapping 101 and then do load grid 101, and then you find the testing. So there we go. So we named it. And when you go to a new map, you always spawn at 0, 0, which is your X and Y position. But you can also just press enter and it'll just spawn it right at 0, 0 anyway. So there we go. We have reloaded our map. And that honestly is pretty much the basics you need to do some mapping. One thing I can recommend, when you map, don't make a huge square first. Place a tile and then build off of that tile. If you do this, you'll notice that every single one of these is actually a different grid, which you definitely don't want. You save the grid ID, not any of the other IDs. It's the grid ID. So if I want to expand it just to show once more how this works, how easy this is, we do save grid 38857 testing. Can resave it. That will overwrite the save. Now I can do mapping 102, load grid 102, testing, spawner right here. We see it's bigger. It's that simple to save grids and do some basic debugging. I also forgot to mention, so if you ever want to go back to a map that you're mapping, you do 0, 0, that's 0x, 0y, and then whatever map. So if I want to go back to my 102 map, which is my current version of this save, I just do that, and now I'm back here. Really that simple. Another thing you want to do, you can press B to turn on the sandbox menu. So if you're trying to like see subfloors, you can toggle it here. If you don't want to see lights, you can turn on FOV, turn off FOV. This lets you just see like more mapping specific things. This also has the spawn tile buttons and stuff if you just can't find it. And I guess one last thing I can explain real quick is if you ever like want to make yourself an tag, you can right click and then debug and control mob. This is how you control mobs. If you don't want to see all this stuff again, you just press the B menu and toggle lights, and now we have normal vision. There's an tag control menu here. You need a PDA, but you can turn yourself into a zombie, rev, anything that you want really. You can spawn in uplinks. There's debug items like debug uplinks that just have basically unlimited TC. Just really, if you want to test anything, you could do it here. One other thing I know is going to be a huge question. If you go to engineering and find the SMES rooms, you can right click the SMESs, go to tricks, and then there's reconfigures this item so it's battery rapid refills. This basically will make it so the station has unlimited power while you mess around with whatever you want. I believe this explains really the most basic commands that you need to just mess around, do whatever you want, and even do some very basic mapping if you just want to experiment with an idea or something, or make a little test chamber, whatever the case may be. Please leave down below in the comments any additional commands and stuff that might be helpful. I've done this so much now that I'm sure I'm forgetting something that's really important and really useful. But anyways, thank you for watching.